have some breaking news right now. It is out of Iraq. It's a military spokesman has just told us that 10 rockets at least have struck an airbase hosting U.S., Iraqi, and coalition forces. Right now, we can tell you there's no reports of casualties, no reports of damage, but it is late breaking. Tashani Whitlow is in the BNC studios with more on this. Tashani, what do you know?
Thank you, Sharon. At this time, we have more questions than answers. As you mentioned, BNC, following that breaking news, at least 10 rockets hit a military base in western Iraq. Now, let's get right out to our chief foreign affairs correspondent, Nayyera, who was in Washington with the latest. Nayyera?
Thank you, Tashani. This is a sobering reminder that the United States is still at war. This has been ongoing in Iraq and Afghanistan for more than 20 years. This attack today comes on the heels of a United States response. Just last week, President Biden, in his first military authorization, struck a Iranian militia camp outside Syria. And this is expected to be a response. So we're seeing the United States, its interests being targeted and being proxied throughout the region. Since last week, United States forces have been on high alert. So there was an expectation that there would be Iranian response. We expect that this was it. As you said, no casualties reported. We will continue to track this here on BNC Live.
And Nayyera, do you believe that this is in retaliation for that airstrike that happened last week?
That is suspected. Again, nobody has taken immediate credit for this, but based on what intelligence reports say, this does seem to have come from Iranian militia. It's also almost 1 year to the date that Iranian forces did also strike this same exact Air Force base. So this is part of the ongoing challenge U.S. forces face in the region.
And what does this say about President Biden?
President Biden is trying to operate on two tracks right now. He's trying to keep diplomacy open with Iran, specifically to make sure that Iran does not develop a nuclear weapon. That is the infamous Iran nuclear deal that we've heard so much about, that the United States pulled out of in a Trump administration. And now the conversation is ongoing about under what circumstances the United States would lend its name to that deal. The red line there is the United States wants international inspectors to be in Iran and to confirm that they are not developing any nuclear capabilities. The second track is the military track that is holding Iran and its terrorist network accountable on all fronts and making sure that the United States is not only responding proportionately, but also keeping its troops safe.
And Nayyera, has the national security level been increased due to this strike?
So in the region, the military forces, yes, the U.S. coalition led by U.S. forces has been on high alert since last week. This seems part of an expected response. So part of why we likely have no casualties is because of the preparation and response. And again, our troops are prepared. They have been doing this for, unfortunately, quite some time. I wish I could say that this was out of the ordinary.
But the U.S. security threat level, has that increased as well?
No, we have not had a security level threat increase in the United States. Thank you for clarifying. This is relatively contained to the region. In general, Iranian militia and Iranians' terror networks does limit itself to the region. There have been some intelligence about potentially in Europe, activities in Europe, but it is not, the physical threat is not one we feel in the United States. The one we feel in the United States is the cyber campaigns that Iran, Russia, China, and North Korea operate.
Nayyera, our chief foreign affairs correspondent, we know you will keep us abreast on this issue, and as soon as you get more information, you will bring it to us and we'll bring it to our viewers on air. Thank you for joining us, and BNC will continue to follow this story. We'll be right back with more news that matters to you. Thank you for watching BNC.